There was a couple of different physician groups, College of Family Physicians and Indigenous Physician Association of Canada. There was a guide, and I'll quote the title of it, The Health and Healthcare Implications of Systemic Racism on Indigenous Peoples in Canada. This was released in 2016. It noted that there was unintentional racism and it would manifest in the way of erroneous assumptions. Again, having been in the healthcare system for 20 years, I'd say not all of it was unintentional. But it said that these assumptions would change how healthcare providers, all the way from first responders up through nurses and physicians, might affect care. Ms. Hopkins and Mr. Day, in your experience, has this kind of racism in the healthcare system affected how victims of addiction are treated?
Well, I'd like to go back to my earlier comments related to methadone. Mm-hmm. So, we've had significant issues related to methadone clinics, mm-hmm. And risk to First Nations communities. And so methadone providers, and methadone is, I believe in methadone, it's an absolutely necessary mm-hmm. part of the solution. But when the solution is absent of and disrespectful of First Nations governance, who then have to carry the burden of the risks related to methadone in community, that's to me racism. As well as telling First Nations people that once you are on methadone, you're on methadone for the rest of your life, meaning you can no longer go home anymore. You can't take your new children to meet their grandparents in the isolated remote community, that you have to live in an urban environment in poverty outside of a family system of support. That's racism. We have seen evidence where First Nations people have been moved from methadone to Suboxone to being opiate and opiate replacement therapy free and living well in their communities. The connection to land, connection to people, and connection to their lineage and their language is critical for their overall wellness. And so I offer that as an example.